my jet lag and I say ciao to everyone. Okay, I'm here for two main reasons. To share with you my knowledge about the future and to fight consumerism. Fashion, my field, is a kind of cycle. We start from the main elements related to fashion, the materials element, but we use fashion as a way to communicate. And today is important to communicate because we have a huge challenge in front of us, in front of every one of us. The title of my lecture, A New Era of Fashion. I could say that this is a new era after the pandemic. Why this? This guy is me, of course. This is my experiences. I start from Sugar, one of the most important boutiques in Italy, as a buyer, selecting brands. And then I moved to London, working for Saint Laurent as a VIP buyer. I remember that David Beckham has been my first client, so not so bad. But it was really boring, that job. And then I moved to another brand, Marni, is an Italian one, as a sailor. So I work with clients everywhere, also from Mexico, selling them products. And again, I'm a buyer, so I work with brands. I know the meaning of brand, and I use communication to buy and sell products. Today, I'm the program coordinator at YED in Florence, and I'm a consultant for some companies, so I need to know the real meaning of future. But what is the meaning? What is the definition of meaning? When I work with my students in Italy, for me, the first thing I need to do with them is to understand how to define everything. Every one of us, for example, know what is a product. But when you need to sell a product, you need to define that product perfectly, because you need to find the right elements your clients want to listen to. So the main thing you have to do when you work in every single field is to define everything. This is a street art element example. What are we going to do with all this future? This is a collaboration between Gucci and Coco Capitan, a photographer from Spain, a young photographer from Spain. And this is one of my favorite sentences in the last 10 years, thanks to Mr. Alessandro Michele, the ex-creative director from Gucci. What is the main word in this wall? Future. To work for and in the future, we need to understand what is future. It's not enough to know, oh, I'm working to make better my company or my studies because it's important for my future. But what is the future? It's important for every one of you, every one of us, to understand this. We used to work on the future, but it's not enough the future, because we must discuss the present in order to discuss the future. What means? We need to understand all the we have to define all the elements of the present. Again, we are living in a very hard period in this world. And this is why some elements from, for example, the pandemic or the wars all around the world are fighting against the future. We are living a new era. After the pandemic, we are living a different story. And we have to understand how to live perfectly this new era. Why a new era? Because we need to understand how to do what? How to manage the markets, internationally speaking. International markets have changed. Not just in fashion. Fashion, guys, is just a small part of the market. It's a field. It's important for everyone to understand how to manage the market in order to understand how to sell in the best way our product or our services. And to do that, we have to define our market, our clients. We have a very good friend of us that will help every day to do this. We'll see later. Coming back to the changes, as human beings, we must evolve in our thinking, first of all. It's not possible to think about markets and products as before the pandemic. I give you an example. I work with a lot of stores. Before the pandemic, a lot of companies spend a lot of money on the e-commerce, on online platforms, because people needed to buy with few time. I don't have time, so I need to buy something online. In New York, the average client has 5 minutes per day to buy a product. It's impossible to take a car or a taxi to go to a store, select a product, buy that product, and come back to the office. Impossible. After the pandemic, the system needs to change, started to change. Now people come back to the physical store. So for a company, it's important to do what? To understand how to work on this new future for the physical spaces. And then we have to evolve also on the perception. I think that perception is one of my favorite words as a marketer. I'm graduating in economics, so I work with marketing tools. When we talk about marketing, when we talk about products, it's important to understand what is the perception. Perception is everything, and companies know it. Why is important the perception? Because, for example, companies know that the perception of a client regarding a product is really, really important. There are some levers that every marketer, every professional needs to work on. The first one, also in fashion, is the dream. I will show you an example of dream.
该起床喽，该上学啦。Time to get up, baby. Come on, appliquez.
todos para você.
proud sponsor of moms.
A very good story, no? Emotional, but it's not just a story. We'll see later what is this. The second word is desire. Behind every product, we look for a desire. Every product, inside every product, there's a desire for every one of us. So the second example is this one. Nice. The third one, my movie. Why I should use the word movie? When I started my career in fashion, my first boss told me that behind every collection, behind every product, there's a movie. I didn't understand that because I was really young. Now I'm a professional and I totally understand what means movie in fashion and in design in general. I give you a small personal example. My mother used J'adore, the parfum. And I used to buy it during the Christmas break for her. It's my Christmas gift. And one of the first time I decided to buy it. I asked my mother, why that product? Why that perfume? And she told me that because Charlize Theron is beautiful, and she wanted to be as Charlize Theron and leave that advertisement, that promotion. Maybe stupid, but it's not. Because my mother buy that product thanks to that movie. Every one of us in our brain have our movie. Okay? When I was younger, I played football. And my favorite football player was from Argentina, Gabriel Omar Batistuta. And I bought a specific brand because in my ad, buying that product, I could be as Batistuta. I know very well that it's impossible buying a product to be someone, but that one was my movie.
Listen up, babies. Life's not fair. You get no say in the world you're born into. You don't decide your name. You don't decide where you come from. You don't decide if you have a place to call home or if your whole family has to leave the country. Yeah, it's messed up. You don't decide how the world judges a person like you. You don't decide how your story begins, but you do get to decide how it ends. Yes!
It's clear the message, no? If you buy Nike, you can be the next super famous athlete. You know that it maybe could be impossible, but why not? But you have to buy Nike. You know that, for example, in United States, a lot of young guys buy Nike products because they want to be as, for example, LeBron James, or buying sneakers because they want to be as a famous VIP, a famous person. And this is the link with the next word, real needs. You know this product? Yes or no? Okay. This is just a pair of sneakers for me. But there are a lot of clients, a lot of persons that stay outside department stores and boutiques waiting for a pair of sneakers. Also 2 days for a pair of sneakers. So why this? What we can find behind that product? Just a pair of sneakers or something more? Is the same of the previous videos. Every single product is not just a product. And then the final one, curiosity. In Rome, some years ago, Smart decided to create this they use this way to promote the launch of the new model of the smart, creating this fear, and they put this huge sphere in one of the main places in Rome for a week with a timer. People stay in front of the sphere for days, working on curiosity, and finally they discovered that inside that sphere there was a car. The company used curiosity to launch a product. So again, guys, dream, desire, needs. What are these words? They are levers that companies use to sell product. Because when every one of us buy a product, we don't buy just a product, we buy an emotion. We need emotions. I have a lot of friends that buy just because they are sad, or for them it's a hard period, so they decided to buy a product, everything. They don't need it, but they buy it because it's a good emotion. So we need to understand that behind every product, behind every emotion, there's the marketing. But the marketing is not enough in this new era. A very good friend of mine, Rina Tollio, the HR manager of OTB. OTB is one of the main companies in Europe. Diesel, Jill Sander, Martin Margiela. She told me that in his company, they are looking for students that are not just marketers, but they need students that work on creativity. So the perfect balance between marketing and creativity is the perfect choice for a company. But when we talk about fashion, we need also to talk about art. I come from Florence. Florence is one of the best places in the world for art. Florence is a meta brand, is a huge open-air museum where creatives find a lot of elements to create. But why art is important? I come from Arezzo, a very small town close to Florence. And one of the most important persons that come from that place is this woman, Miuccia Prada. You know Miuccia Prada? Prada, of course. Miuccia in Milan told me during a dinner that to talk about fashion, we need to talk about art. We need to use art to talk about fashion. So, using creativity is important to use art. And it's time to understand today what is the meaning of creative direction, not just in fashion, in every field. I produced a master course in YED related to the meaning of creative direction for fashion. And I based the course on 3 main elements. Of course, culture, but the 3 elements are design, communication, and branding. Why these words? The first one, the brand, the importance of the brand. When we work for a company, we need to do what? To understand that for our clients today is more important to buy a brand rather than a product. If you take a pair of sneakers and you delete the logo of Gucci, those clients don't buy those sneakers for that price. The price for those sneakers is okay just because there's Gucci. You spend a lot of money on Apple products just because there's the logo of Apple, not because the product. So it's important to understand the importance of the brand. And then the product, the design project behind that product. The design is the way we use to communicate something, to communicate our idea to our clients. And then the communication, one of the most important thing, maybe the most important thing. Why? Communication is the way we communicate, we share information with other people, first of all. But it's also something that we use to create the desire behind our product, behind our brand. I think every one of you know what is the marketing mix. The marketing mix is the base to work as a professional. We have 7 P's, 7 levers. Price, the price of our product. The place, where is the product inside the market. The promotion, and the product. But we have also other 3 levers. The physical evidence, so my opinion related to a product, and sharing it, I suggest you to buy a specific brand. The processes are important for a company to, for example, save time and money. And people. In this new era, is important to work on the importance of people. People, as a lever, is not present just in the marketing mix. It's present also here. People, planet, and profit. These 3 words are the levers of the 3 P's of sustainability. Sustainability today is one of the main words that every company, every agency use to communicate, to promote a product. Why this? Because as a marketer, I know that the 75% of clients all around the world want to buy, so they prefer to buy sustainable products. Are you sure it's true? I think that sustainability today is a green trend. We talk about greenwashing. Companies use the word sustainability to reach those people that 75% of clients. And for a company, it's important to use the right words to reach them. So today, in my opinion, but it's not just my opinion, sustainability is a trend. And you know that a trend is something that companies, that the market create to sell products. So it's important today to do what? To change the perception related to the sustainability. To do what? To fight the consumerism. We need a new system. We need a new way to do business to create a better future for every one of us. We need to understand that companies need to work not in sustainability, but in consciousness. We need to work on consciousness because the new generations, young generations, are learning sustainability through the social media. And social media use what companies need. So today, we have to change the word sustainability again with consciousness. I want to leave you with 2 sentences. It's necessary to begin creating credible products for an ethical market. Credible and ethic. It's not enough to work on sustainability. It's not enough to produce a product using green materials. We need to create something, first of all, credible for our market and something that is ethical. A better future can only be achieved by awakening consciences and touching the chords of true desire. The true desire, not the desire created by the marketing. And the last one is, it's imperative that fashion serves as a cure, not a disease. We need to use fashion to create a real new future. Immediately after the pandemic, some really famous designers from fashion started to say, oh, it's time to stop producing a lot of products. But it's not true. They are continuing producing a lot of product. So it's important, you guys, this is my advice, to understand this, to be conscious, because you are the future of the system. Again, fashion is a circle. We start from the communication and we create desire. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much, Andrea. We have time only for 2 questions. ¿Alguien tiene por ahí una pregunta?
Can you tell us a way that we can understand the needs of people?
It's a good question, this one. How you can understand the needs of our clients? First of all, you have to leave the market. A lot of students from my school sometimes ask how you can find the right brands for your stores, living with those clients. I used to leave the cities. For example, during the fashion week in Milan or in Paris, I don't like to go to the fashion shows. I found them really boring. I prefer to stay outside the fashion shows, checking the new trends, because people create the new trends. So what are the needs? First of all, you have to create the need for your clients. To understand what your clients want, you have to live with them. You have to leave the spaces with them. In fashion, it's easy. You can go to a store and you can understand which are the brands they prefer. Or today we have another very good tool, the social media. Sometimes I use social medias, for example, Instagram, not TikTok. I don't like TikTok. I'm not a TikTok professional. I'm not young, so young to use TikTok. But I use Instagram, checking the numbers of likes on Instagram to understand what are the next brands. Or sometimes I take a flight and I go to other countries, for example in LA, in California, looking for new brands. So it's not always true. We have to understand the needs. It's useful to create those needs.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
So, first of all, I mean no disrespect with this question. So, just bear that in mind. So first, you said that you wanted to fight consumerism, right?
Yeah.
So isn't like marketing a product with a story and all of those like things you mentioned, like exploiting the feelings of the consumer to consume?
I don't understand the question, sorry.
Yeah, so what I mean is, well, when you when you're like selling a product and giving it a history, like if you wanted to fight consumerism, what I feel like you're doing is like exploiting.
Okay, man, I understand.
Feelings,
Okay. I give you an example, my personal example.
Yes.
One of my favorite designer is Yohji Yamamoto from Japan. During the 90s, Yohji Yamamoto told us that it's better to buy just a coat, paying it a lot of money, but with a story behind that product, and not a lot of coats that we can buy today in a fast fashion store. I don't want to use the name of the fast fashion companies today. Maybe it's not the right place. But I can say that behind a fast fashion product, there's not a story. Behind a product from a special brand, there's always a story.
Yes, but like my question was like, you want to fight consumerism, right?
Yeah.
So by exploiting people's feelings into buying things, isn't that just making them consume?
No, because if you buy just a product and not 100 products in a month, you are fighting the consumerism. Also telling them a story.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Receive this acknowledgement from the faculty, and this present, please. It's for you. Thank you so much.